It's not too often I do a profile of somebody on my channel who used to sign my checks. Years ago, when I first started working for the Irving, specifically for the Moncton Times, as a daily freelancer, this guy name was on the bottom of my checks, which would turn out to be Brunswick News or the media company. Now, today we're not going to judge this person. We're just going to give you the bare bone facts for the American followers of the channel that don't know who this guy is, because not too often a billionaire, multi-billionaire is connected to this channel. So we're going to do it. Arthur Irving. Now, Arthur Irving was a Canadian billionaire businessman, the second son of industrialist Casey Irving of the Irving family. Of course, the Irving family are the business and job stranglehold of New Brunswick. Now, born in St. John, Irving served as president of Irving Oil, of which he later became the sole owner through the Arthur Irving Family Trust. By the time of his net worth was estimated between 6.4 billion US and 9.8. Although some people say he was uh, uh, died in Canada, actually died in Boston on May 13th. Now, additionally, Irving served as Chancellor of Acadia University between 1996 and 2010. Ironically, this was a college he dropped out of. He previously attended before dropping out to pursue the family owned industry. Irving was also a longtime board member of one of his favorite groups, Ducks Unlimited Canada. Throughout his lifetime, Irving received multiple honors and awards, including the Order of New Brunswick, as well as the Order of Canada. He additionally received an honorary doctorate of letters from University of New Brunswick. Now, born again July 14, 1930, Casey's second son. His mother, Harriet McNairan, was from Galloway in Kent County. Irving attended a Winter Street School as well as Rothsay Collegiate School, or RCS. He was later temporarily enrolled at Acadia University, again as which he served as chancellor for 14 years. He began working at Irving Oil later in his career and eventually became its president in '72, following retirement of his father. Now, Casey's connection to St. John, the North Shore, gas stations, everything else, businesses, is very in depth. I would figure at least half the people that are employed in New Brunswick all work for the Irvings, use Irving products, or are directly impacted by Irving sales. Now, on Ducks Unlimited Canada's board of directors, he was president between '86 and '87. Now, following his father's death in 1992, ownership and responsibility for the Irving companies were divided amongst Irving, along with his brothers James and Jack. Irving Oil's responsibility was passed to Irving, which included gas stations, oil refineries, oil tankers, distribution terminals, and other facilities, while a portion of the company's stake was given to Jack, which his family later sold to Arthur Irving Family Trust in 2018. Now, while serving as a chancellor, Irving, along with his two brothers, donated two facilities to Acadia in 2002: the Casey Irving Environmental Science Center, as well as the Harriet Irving Botanical Gardens. In 2016, Dartmouth accepted $80 million from the Irving family to set up the Arthur L. Irving Institute for Energy and Society. Now, until 2023, Irving served as the Irving Oil Board of Directors chairman, though he continued to work in the business until his death. His stepping down came amidst the strategic review of the company's future, announced earlier in June 2023, in which there was mention that the review could lead to its full or partial sale. Now, we know the media branch has already been sold to the National Post Group. I worked 3 times for the Irvings, twice as a freelancer and once as a staff member from 1993 to 2017. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a job with the Irvings, you have a job for life, but you have to work for it because the work ethic is there. There are probably the Irving family probably there would be no New Brunswick without the Irvings, whether you like them or not. That's how it goes. Now, numerous awards in his career. He was made an officer of the Order of Canada in 2002, and 2012 he was made a member of the Order of New Brunswick. In November 2007, Irving was inducted in the 2008 Canadian Business Hall of Fame along with his two brothers. The following year, both Irving and his wife received honorary Doctor of Letters degrees by the University of New Brunswick. In 2013, Irving was New Brunswick's inductee for the Canadian Red Cross Humanitarian Award. In 2019, Rotary really celebrated him with a Paul Harris Fellowship. And he said in published reports that was one of his favorite recognitions. He was a big fan of Rotary. Now, previously married to Joan Carlisle Irving, together having 4 children until divorcing in 1980. His second marriage with Sandra Ring, with whom he had Sarah Irving, eventually lived in St. John while additionally owning a residence in Boston, because obviously Massachusetts, Maine, some big Irving owned situations. Now, cancer took him again May 13, 2024, and he died at Massachusetts General Hospital. By the time he's dead, Forbes had again estimated his net worth between 6.4 billion, while Bloomberg estimated his worth at 9.8, and his funeral was held in St. John. I would figure the 9.8 value was a little bit better, but he kind of topped off because again the oil and gas situation in New Brunswick with refineries. You look at the business operations, all that divestitures. He basically, his business mind, he got that for his father, because Casey was a very smart cat. Goes way back to the 1920s. But you look at St. John, you look at Beldoon, you look at parts of Western Valley, Carleton County. There's an Irving thumb on a lot of these businesses. It could be transport trucks, food, gas stations. And ironically, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Arthur Irving had seats at Fenway, but if you ever watch Fenway the last few years, you see the Irving sign. Rumor has it that Irving is for sale. So if anybody out there got $10 or $15 billion spare, I don't know if the Canadian regulators would allow it, but it is what it is. Now, talking about actually Sarah Irvin, just a little bit of a background, because she has her father and her grandfather's acumen. Now, she's now currently the executive vice president and chief brand officer of Irving Oil since 2015. Now, she has a net worth, the family net worth, again, is between that 5.4 and 9.4. Was suggested that Sarah will eventually succeed ownership, so probably eventually she'll become probably the biggest female billionaire in Canadian history if everything goes good, besides some of the Ontario Loblaw extended family. So again, McCain family in Florenceville, the Irvings in St. John and elsewhere, that's the two big families in New Brunswick. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, he will be missed. Because one thing about Arthur Irving, he was the brains of the operation. And I did have an opportunity to meet KC, but I got a very interesting compliment at a bank. I was cashing a check from the Moncton Times money I was making as a freelancer. The bank person saw the signature. He said, I don't think this is going to bounce because Arthur had signed it. So take it as you will. So condolences to the extended Irving family. If you like what we're doing here, we're a historical podcast. Let us know in a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.